Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Wednesday night, so it's time to get back into it and chop it up. And the one we're going deep with tonight is, of course, the one, the only, Mr. Snafu Z. What's good, Andy?
Not much, nerds. Let's do it. Let's talk about this. I love coming in on Johnny, episode 7 with hey, nerds.
Oh, dude, it's so good. These episodes, unbelievable. 8 was absolutely amazing to me. Sounds like you like 7. I mean, this is just, this is getting better.
Oh,
I can't believe there's only 2 left.
I liked 8 well enough, but you know I'm a softie, right? Like deep down, I'm a softie, and it hurts. I don't like that.
Oh man, they just went deep on some of these issues. We're gonna get into it and talk about it. And it was we're gonna start off with Cobra Kai season 4, episode 7. This one's called Minefield. And we start off seeing Anthony getting his Mac on with an old friend, and unfortunately, that old friend is also friendly with the new kid who Anthony has absolutely made an enemy of. So sometimes you reap what you sow. It's like, man, this kid's gonna watch out, get it. Who do you think that girl's gonna end up with, or is she gonna end up with either one of them, the new kid or Anthony?
I don't know. She's the new Moon, right? So maybe she ends up with Kenny, right? Because that's essentially what Moon was, where she's like, she's going to be, I don't want to choose sides. Like, I'm friends with both of you guys.
What's up, AK? I see you out there. Thanks for stopping in. Hope all is well and you're feeling better. Yeah, it's, I almost think like the way they were standing there, I almost think it's the new Allie with an eye. It was like he was standing there like his dad, and that was almost like Allie with an eye standing there with the books, and they were talking about the books. And I mean, the way they just cycle this round and round is amazing. Keep giving us the same story over and over. And speaking of old friends, he needs to make some new ones because the ones he has are total asshats. Like when that curly-haired kid said, "Easy, I'm just busting your balls, dude," I'd have shoved him in a locker and just said, "Yeah, ditto." Dude, like, are you kidding me with this kid? He is just evil.
The worst.
And did Kenny kind of have it coming, though? Like, he was warned about wearing Cobra Kai colors at school, and then he's out there with a Cobra Kai sweatshirt hoodie. Like, what's that about?
Well, now he's part of Cobra Kai, right? So, Of course he's going to wear it.
But you're not allowed to wear colors at school. So it's like, I mean, they already got a whole thing in the bathroom about that. And here he is doing it again. So, I mean, I don't know. Can he really not expect to be messed with in that situation?
Right. I don't know.
And then Miguel heads home to his mom's room to grab her car keys, but ends up finding Johnny's headband in their bed instead. And awkward. Like, did you think it was going to be a big deal when he found out about them being together?
No, like I said, I thought that he knew they were dating before. So once it started coming about that he didn't know, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, because it's been a while now. Like, this isn't anything new.
Right.
As we head over to the LaRusso's household, Daniel confronts Anthony about something he found in his room, and Anthony starts to explain, like, but quickly realizes it's not what he thought, and it's the Cobra Kai sweatshirt he stole from Kenny, and I like that quick switch up, and then I'm like holding it for a friend line, like all kids use.
Right.
So good.
That's hilarious.
And like any kid would do, he tries to spin it like he's the victim to his dad. And Daniel, of course, thinks it's his childhood nightmares being cast onto his son. So not entertaining for even a moment that it's actually his kid doing the bullying.
As like showing his weakness that he's had this whole time throughout the series. Like that's his weakness. He's so quick to jump on it.
Yeah.
Even knowing his son. He knows his son is like a little shit. Like, why would this even be a surprise?
How is this even a thing? Absolutely. It's like, come on. And it's funny to see Daniel feeling all bad about his kid getting bullied when it's actually the opposite of what's happening. Like, how sick is he going to be when he finds out the truth?
Ugh.
Not going to be good.
Devastated.
And the little Kenny's had it with the bullies at school. He's ready to like put his new training to use. And Robbie reminds him that just fighting will only land him in jail like it did with him and his brother. So it's like he needs to be smarter than them. So Kenny seems like a smart kid. You already know he's going to have a plan.
Yep. And he does.
Oh, dude,
and you really get him turning into a villain, right? Like you go from the okay, like I'm on your side. Now we're slowly they're slowly working the audience against him.
Right. But then again, I mean, can you really be against him? I mean, how much are you going to put up with before you finally fight back?
Right, but I don't know that I would choose the time where it kind of seemed like the guy was going to apologize to me to pull it. So I don't know.
That's just it. I mean, once you're broke, you're broke. Like I've been trying to, do it that way for a while, and you just keep spitting in my face. So I'm done. Like I'm done. I don't care what you have to say. Now I just hate you, and it's on. Like you broke that joint. We're going. So I definitely get it. And little Kenny's had it. Like I said, he doesn't want to be friends anymore. But then back over at Cobra Kai, the two Cobra Kai senseis have a new lesson to teach. At first, they're in harmony, and one picks up talking as soon as the other one stops. But it only takes like one little slip of the lip for Kreese to instantly feel slighted. He instantly challenges Terry to a simple little contest with the students. But does Kreese really believe like he doesn't have any weaknesses?
Maybe he doesn't believe that. Like we all like to think of ourselves as like super strong. But I think what really bothered him was that he was telling the students he would rather, we all know we have weaknesses, but we don't want other people to know we have weaknesses, right?
That's true. You want to cover
especially our students.
Yeah, especially when one of our students says, Sensei Kreese doesn't, and then you instantly just rip that back out. Like, of course he does. Like, of course, he's not going to take that well. Not that man.
Right.
And Terry thought this was just a friendly wager, but Kreese always has ulterior motives. So, like, that look in his eye when Terry said, may the best sensei win, was not one of peace.
You're right.
So you already know that's going to be a problem. And how awkward was that meeting with Johnny, Carmen, and Miguel? Like, as usual, Johnny saying all the wrong things or all the right things in the wrong ways. Like, so.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird. I don't know why it would have been. Like, to me, that doesn't seem like, I don't know. It is, but
that's just going to be an awkward conversation regardless.
Right.
And like out at Miyagi-Do, it looks like Daniel's not feeling the stress of the tourney being like in a month as much as the rest, because instead of training his students, he's tending to his son and leaving the training to Sam. Like, why isn't he more in the game? I get that he needs to take care of family first, but if he loses the tournament, his family loses like a father, because I'm pretty sure Danny Boy would fall off the deep end.
Yeah, but you're not thinking you would fall off the deep end if you lose, right? Like, yeah, I choose my family over everybody. I had this discussion earlier today. Like, if my daughter had some weird illness that was gonna kill every person on the planet, I'm sorry for everybody on the planet. I'm gonna protect her. Like, you protect your family first.
That's just what it is. That's all you can do. I mean, you got to take care of yours. But what a great scenario. Because yeah, that's crazy. Like, take out your daughter or everybody on the planet. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Right.
That's fantastic. Oh, that was actually pretty good. That was actually a pretty good analogy Daniel gave Anthony about thinking of it as a video game, but it still didn't get through his thick dunderhead. Like anything in life, he has to want to learn. He doesn't seem to really want it.
Right. And like at first, when I first watched this, I was like, he doesn't understand the lesson. Like,
no.
Then I'm like, what was his goal here, right? Because he grew up in this. He knows that. I'm sure he heard that wax on, wax off was important. Like, that was what it meant. That it wasn't just wax on, wax off. And he still didn't do it. That annoyed me.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But I mean, how can you? I mean, he's been like this about everything. So why should we expect anything different?
Because he came and asked for help. Like, okay, you're finally ready.
AK says facts, Andy. You nailed it. Absolutely. And how ridiculous was it for Daniel to ask, like, how does that sound, when basically telling Anthony he was going to be washing the bird poop off all the cars? Like, how does that sound? What did he expect? Like, come on. It sounds like shit is what it sounds like.
Yeah, but at least that's the thing. Like, it doesn't sound fun, right? But you know there's a goal to it. Like, it is about repetition and learning the movements not under pressure and it becoming like an instinct, right? Just doing it. He had to have known this going in. He admits it later, like wax on, wax off. He admits that he knew that. And so when I watched it again, I'm like, I can't even defend him on it. Like he didn't know.
That's funny. And I was on the total opposite side. I'm looking at Daniel, like, even how it ended, like, I'll get the bucket. It's going to be fun. No, it's not going to be fun. It's going to suck, just like it did when you first learned it and you were crying about it.
Right. But he didn't know that it had a purpose, and he still did it.
That's true.
That his son does know.
Oh, what's up, Jake? I see you out there. Celebrity Bikini in the house. Kreese and Terry start their competition, and right out of the gate, it's lopsided. Like, since Terry got to choose first, why wouldn't he pick Tori, their best female fighter? He picks the newest recruit who obviously doesn't know much. That was a weird option.
Tactical. I think that was planned. Everything from that point where Kreese didn't take it well, all of that was planned. Like, once he's like, hey, we're going to make this a competition, Terry Silver's smart. Like, he's fucking smart, and he's sneaky. So I think he planned out the whole ending.
He could have. He was playing the long game. I like that. And it was good to get our first Johnnyism when he tells like the new recruit the only pronouns they use here are sensei and student. Those are nouns. Oh, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was what? It was so sick. Dude, I was crying.
That's amazing.
Oh, Johnny in the house. And even after she says that's imperative, Johnny doesn't know the difference in nouns and pronouns. She had to know he definitely wouldn't have known what that word means. Like, it's such a sweet little add-in. Oh, man. It was funny to see how in tune the new girl is, though. She loves all the same movies Johnny does. Like, and then Penis Breath pipes in, and like Johnny just instantly tells him to shut the hell up. Like, this is.
It was like a match made. He's like, "You are perfect for us. You are my new Miguel. You're Miguel's twin." Like,
exactly. And this isn't the only double standard. Like, now that it's out that he's dating his mom, he starts treating Miguel all differently, and the rest of the quiver is none too pleased about it.
Right. And I think he only does that because of the awkward conversation. If they have their normal dinner where he's like, yeah, like this, we're dating, whatever, like they planned, I don't think that happens. It's like he's almost trying to make up for like the awkward conversation.
Yep, that could be. I like that. And then training as usual is cracking me up, but like it does make me feel that the Eagle Fang students will be better prepared than the rest of them will. Like, and I also feel like Cobra Kai will indeed cheat, and these drills are going to come in and actually help him here.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You don't think so?
I mean, I'm sure they're going to cheat. That's what they do.
Oh, feel it. AK says he's got a guest spot on. She's got a guest spot on Citadel of Trivia. If you want to join Friday night, feel it.
Maybe
think about. Oh, the fact that he lined them all up and let that girl kick him in the nuts was priceless. Like Miguel had to be happy that he was let out of that lesson.
Oh my god, dude! This is something that literally they do in the Army. Oh, like this literally happens with like female drill sergeants. Like you turn in your shit and then they like kick you in the crotch.
That would be horrible.
I don't think they're well, I'm 100% they're not supposed to do that, but I'm 100% that it does happen.
Yeah, that would be awful. No, yeah, that's not a lesson I need to know about. We're gonna skip that one. I like how Johnny waits till after all his students are like on the ground in pain to ask if they're wearing cups. A little late now, buddy. Oh, unbelievable.
Why would he so bad at trivia? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, good.
I just read the comments. This is why I can't read comments. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, the double task. Get your multitask on. And back at Cobra Kai, Kreese is winning, so Terry ups it up to double or nothing. And Kreese smiles and picks Robbie, and Terry takes a chance on the underdog. And he predicts right that everybody, especially Robbie, will underestimate Kenny, and he uses this overconfidence to employ a dirty tactic. Like, that just goes to show that Johnny was right, that they should expect Cobra Kai to fight dirty. Like, you agree with that?
Yeah, like I think he planned the whole thing. Like he knew that it was going to come down to this fight in the end. And I think he even knew about like what we'll talk about in episode 8. Like from this point, he's like, I'm going to test that and we'll find out. And I'm going to foreshadow it right here.
Feel it. And using that mentality, Kenny finds a way to exploit Robbie's weakness and takes him down, which also happens to be a great lesson in life as Kenny uses this to take out his high school bullies. And then Terry gives a little speech at the dojo about don't let your opponent to think what they want. You got to get them to think how you want them to think. And it doesn't sink in until the students have as much as it does with Kreese. It doesn't sink in with the students half as much as it does with Kreese. And he's a very quick learner. Like Terry should know better than to ever try to make Kreese look weak in front of his students. Like that was just a dumb move. He's smarter than that.
Yeah, I think he planned all this out. There is some end game here. I promise you. Like, there is some big end game here. I don't know like what it is, but there's no way. Like, even to the point where he's like, you're thinking about it wrong. He's telling you that he is aware of Kreese's weakness, and this is just a simulation of that. He's like, I will show you that you have a weakness, but it's not where you think it is. And then that's what this represented.
Wow, kind of like what Vanessa did to the LaRussos later. We're going to talk about that. But also, being a bit of a gambling man myself, I couldn't help pass up the fact that the bet was double or nothing. So Kreese didn't owe Terry shit. Why he had to bring the brewskis, I don't know, but he brought them anyway because he was about to prove a point. But that was one little detail that kind of threw me. Oh, man. How sweet and fitting was it for Daniel to arrive back at Miyagi-Do only to find that Anthony has hired someone else to do the job he was supposed to be doing as training? Like, he was so proud at first that he actually did it, but like, again, what could he expect? Daniel,
I was with you until I thought about it further and was like, no, man, there's no way. Like, he knew that his son knew about it. It's not the same situation with him. Like, he did it when he was younger. He didn't want to do it, but he ended up doing it, even though he had no context to it. And his son actually is aware that it's about repetition and doesn't do it anyway.
Anthony being Anthony. Oh, that was so unbelievable. Like, he was so disgusted by Anthony's actions, but like we just said, he shouldn't have been. He should have known better. Anthony's been the same little spoiled brat since episode 1. So it's like, why are you acting new to this? And I have to admit, I was almost feeling like Anthony's point of view. Like, he never did get to meet Mr. Miyagi, so he feels left out of like something that he thinks means even more to his father than he does. So, I mean, on that aspect, I actually get it.
And that kind of gets pointed out like later. We'll talk about that.
It's so funny when Miguel was like late to dinner watching Johnny trying to appease both sides, like, and then ending with always wear protection. Like, run now, Carmen, before it's too late, because this man is an idiot.
Well, he doesn't know. Like, you got to think like it's not that he's an idiot. It's like he's pretending to be something he's not for the situation, right? Like, where, like, if your family was really poor and you were dating a really rich girl, and then her family had certain things that they did, you wouldn't want to like behave the way you normally do around her family, because then you would be like this, idiot looking dude. So you start talking about things that you don't know, like, oh, this wine has an oaky afterbirth or whatever. Like, that's an office
afterbirth.
That's like a office joke, but it's just like the situation. You're trying to like, he thinks, hey, dude, you're going to get laid. Wear protection. But I probably shouldn't say that around your mom. So it's like
awkward and so perfect. Oh, that was amazing. In his defense, instead of going home, Anthony heads inside to the dojo and tries to learn something more about the thing that his father was so passionate about. Like, he sees the scroll Daniel brought back from Japan and asks him about it. And Daniel just says it's a technique that he hopes none of them will ever have to use. That definitely means someone's totally going to end up using it.
That's the worst line in the whole fucking thing, right? Why? Dude, you should want to use that all the time. That's the best move. Wait, I can just make it so their arms don't work? Yeah, let's do that. Why wouldn't we do that? That's all I could think is like, why would we not win? You would rather beat someone's face in? You could just make their arms not work and then tap them in the stomach.
Right. Like, lay them down all nice on the mat and be like, just stay there for a minute.
Dude, I lost it the first time I heard that. I was like, I literally, what I just did, I did about 5 times louder at the TV. And then my wife says, what are you yelling at? They can't hear you. I'm like, I'm sorry, babe.
Oh, they can. They can feel me, though. Feel my ire all the way across through the TV tubes. Oh, we get a quick little Easter egg that the junior prom is coming up, and you just know there's going to be some good callbacks when that episode happens.
Oh.
Which is different than what I thought it was going to be, that's for sure. What we'll talk about later. But Sam tells Miguel that whatever her dad's plan is, it isn't working. Looks like we called it, and she's definitely going to be asking to train with Johnny sometime soon.
Mm-hmm. I called that like that's one for me for sure.
He's taking it absolutely. He's like, yeah, I think the only thing we argued on is whether she was going to sneak away and do it or actually tell her dad that she's doing it.
Right, and
she's
I couldn't remember what I went with, but I was pretty sure I went with sneaking.
Oh, you were definitely with the sneaking around, absolutely. And I thought when he told Miguel to come with Sam, like he was going to ask her to come along as well, but nope, just trying to take him. Like Johnny wasn't even on that train of thought yet. And then when Kenny ran into that library, I thought he was going to have like his whole quiver like hiding in there for backup, but nope, he didn't need him. He just needed to get the bullies one-on-one.
In classic 80s style, let's split up instead of beat the kid up 4-on-1.
Right. Nothing intelligent about it. In the dark, so so we can't see anything as well. And it was nice to see that curly head kid finally take a couple L's from Kenny. Like Kenny should have double tapped his ass, little instigating bastard.
Yeah, but like to Kenny, he's not the real bully. Like, yeah, he's the leader of the group, but he's not Kenny's bully. Whatever LaRusso's sons, dude, you could literally ask me what that kid's name is as the trivia question. I would not know. I can't even think of LaRusso's son's name.
Oh, little Anthony.
God dang.
Celebrity Bikini says we don't know that that's the only move on the scroll. Maybe there's some other move that he was talking about that's even more lethal that he hopes.
One with a fireball.
Oh, so many moves we know are going to get broke out by the end of this, and definitely going to be talking about that. But I got to say, I wasn't really feeling the whole Johnny Miguel heart to heart. Like, it definitely sealed the deal of his becoming more of a filler episode. So I don't know, that one just kind of felt out of place to me. The whole Johnny Miguel heart to heart they had. But you're a softie. You were liking that one?
No. Oh my God. Like, that was a setup. That was all set up. We are doing 2 episodes tonight, right?
Yes.
So we can say that set up what happens.
Oh,
right?
It makes that was more, of a gut punch.
Right. And you get that, Sam's coming in right after that. Also, that hook thing that was holding the watermelons, or that thing that was clamping it. I know what that is. And that thing has hooks that go like this. They jut in. You were gonna have these kids spin kicking that thing. They're gonna cut their ankles up. They're gonna be hanging by their Achilles. I was like, damn, Johnny.
Oh, you know how Johnny gets down. Rusty nails, dirty, like hard steel. Yeah, he does not care. Get it in. Life's not easy, and you're gonna make it or you're not. Absolutely amazing. But after this talk, will one or the other end up looking for or finding their dad, do you think? Like, I feel it might be Miguel, and with his dad back in the picture, it'll be dicey for Johnny and Carmen to stay together. Right,
like that's a new kind of thing. We know that he knows where his dad is. We know, like, I don't know, this is more about, like, next episode, but he has, like, an identity crisis, and, like, shit's not going right, and, like, I think...
daddy issues.
Right.
So, yeah, we're definitely going to be talking a lot about that. But, man, that is just rough. And just, setting it up an episode early. And then, hey, it's Sam. Better late than never. Guess she needed to make her history class before she could come and get the real lesson. So that was pretty tight when she comes.
That got me more than anything. The timing at which she came in means that she was listening to the whole conversation.
Ah, yeah. I like that. She waited for just the right time to come in. And she knows how Miguel's thinking. Like a little woman, and you're making me not like you that much anymore. Oh, I like her play on words when Johnny asked if her dad knew she was there. Like, that was pretty good. Like, the way the little details are so amazing. And then after the library stunt, Daniel and Amanda get called into school, and Daniel says, "Don't worry, we'll make sure the kid responsible won't get off lightly." Like, will that ring true once he finds out that it's his kid responsible for all this?
Oh, yeah. We find that out.
Keeping it real on both sides. And again, shout out to the actress playing Amanda. Like, she said so much with her facial expressions without ever speaking a word. She's just so in shock and awe that her little baby could be the one doing it.
So, like, no, yeah, no, couldn't. What? And then finally realization, like, what the fuck?
That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then Kreese brings the beer that he didn't know Terry, but gives it with a message. And he doesn't like Terry's uppity attitude lately and reminds him of the pecking order around here. Like, who came asking for whose help, Kreese? Like, you went looking for Terry. Now you're gonna act like this? Like, I don't know. That was kind of a switch.
Yeah, I would have been like, you wouldn't have had all these recruits. Like, how do you think we got so many of these kids? With my champion, gear and stuff. Oh yeah, I wanted to point out. So I was looking at all the logos because in this situation, he's got Adidas on. They must have got sponsored by like every company because one, LaRusso's son is a terrible rich kid because in the scene where you're talking about where they're going to wash the cars, he's wearing Adidas pants and a Nike sweater thing. And I was like, terrible rich kid, right? Then the Cobra Kai gear that Kenny has is champion, right? And then Silver is wearing Adidas when they come in, but they're always focusing on it. I'm like, were they sponsored by everybody? And it was like, well, you can't have any of the bad people wearing my gear unless the good people are also wearing it. So
yeah, definitely. Or Adidas didn't care, but Nike and Adidas and Champion didn't care, but Nike and everybody else was like, nope, only we can get somewhere else.
I was just I don't know why I was focused on it so much, but I was like just looking at all the logos because I like to do that. But it was great.
That is fantastic. That's a sweet call out. Notice the attention to detail in this show. Like, dude, it's one of the best written shows out there. Of course, they all want to get this stuff in there. Absolutely. We'll all give you a little piece of the pie. And it was telling how Terry replied, I said everyone has a weakness. And Kreese said, no, you specifically talked about me. Like, no, he didn't. Tori said Kreese didn't have a weakness. And Terry said everybody has a weakness. He didn't, like, dial it in on Kreese. But I don't know.
I thought the same exact thing. And this is where me being a complete smartass comes in. I would not have been able to help saying your weakness is your hearing. Like, that's all I would have said. Your weakness is your hearing. And then when he says, what? I'm like, I didn't bring it up. Someone else did. I just said, of course. Like, I didn't specifically say anybody.
Exactly. And I don't know what he's so worried about anyway, because from what we've seen, especially in the next episode, Terry would whoop Kreese's ass in a fight. So, like, what are you scared of, man? You would tear this man apart. Oh, Nike takes the high ground. Slave labor, absolutely. He's like, yeah, I can bring it back to the real world. Oh, man, when Kreese said that there's a lot of landmines out there, was he talking about himself? Like, he said if you're not careful where you step, one will blow up on you.
Right, because of that whole analogy he gave earlier. Like, oh, remember someone got too big for their britches and blew up or whatever.
Yep, exactly. So I was like, well, you know this is coming to a head. And how terrified did Terry look?
Yeah, and he had, like, his eyes were red. He was crying. Like, did you see that? Pay attention to it. Like, it was watery eyes. So I think, like I said, he's been planning this out. And Terry's like, he cares about what happened, obviously. Like, that bothers him. But he's like, I'm not as scared of you as you think I am. Like, and I think he was more crying to, like, I don't know, almost kind of the realization situation like Miguel next episode, where it's kind of like, yeah, this person, they don't actually care about me like I think they do in that kind of scenario.
There's head games inside of head games. Like, I don't know. Terry, he did look pretty terrified. Do you think Terry's going to snap? And if so, which way is he going to go? Is he going to fall back in line and do whatever Kreese says, or is he going to start rocking the ship?
Oh man, he's gonna start messing with things now. I'm pretty sure.
It's gonna get so good. Like, I think he might go try to prove to Daniel that, like, he's a changed man. Finally, get him to believe it, and then stab him in the back the same way he did in Karate Kid 3. Like, prove just how much of a mental case he really is, and try to prove himself to Kreese. I
think that is what happens in the next episode, but it does, like, in a different way. But he I don't know. I think he does that to Kreese. Not necessarily stab him in the back, but it almost like how Kreese stole the students from Johnny, maybe he pulls the same shit with Kreese.
And it just keeps going in that cycle, like this Cobra Kai just keeps getting passed over and passed over.
Right, and like maybe it's something like simple, like there's all these Cobra Kais, and it's like a Cobra Kai war, where like there's different dojos, and maybe Silver like runs a couple of the dojos, and it's like these multiple dojo wars and shit, just with Cobra Kai.
A civil war within the quiver. That would be amazing. That'd be awesome. Oh man, speaking of awesome, we're gonna see how awesome the brains are and what you remember. If you know some of these answers, write in the chat. If you're watching later, write in the comments down below. Just gonna have a few trivia questions and see what we can do. Oh, what was the new student in Eagle Fang's name?
Yeah, you know I'm not gonna know.
Not know names. You know that one? Write it in the chat box. When telling Miguel that he and his mom are dating, what restaurants did Johnny say he wanted to take him to?
Oh man, well. It was Long John's. Wait, no, Red Lobster, Chili. Dang, I don't know.
Red Lobster, Chili's, and what?
Yeah, I don't know the other one, but I remember Red Lobster. But it's something very along those lines. Like,
you should have let me say it. I was going to give you the first two and say and what, and you would have nailed Red Lobster.
Well,
that's awesome. Who asked Miguel if Sensei would be tucking him in at night as well?
Penis Breath.
Incorrect.
Dang it. That's the only one that I know their names. So that's so much.
What did the man washing Daniel's car call himself?
I don't know, but his cat had a hernia is why he was doing it.
Oh, yeah, his cat needed surgery. Absolutely. What did Anthony do the first time Miyagi held him?
Kicked him in the face.
Know it. What was the theme of the junior prom going to be?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I didn't even hear that part.
That's a deep dive. You didn't hear it. It was written on a poster that they panned in on and then panned away from.
Oh, man, you know that's cheating because you know I watch it when I work out. So, like, I'm paying attention, but not that close.
The minor details. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's for the people out there. People out in karate land.
I got one for you. We'll see.
All right. Where's the fair that Anthony's gal pal invited him being held?
Some park.
That's absolutely correct. It is some park. Nice. Close enough. What fair food were they both excited to eat?
The deep fried Oreos, which aren't as good as you would think they are.
I don't know. That doesn't sound that great to me, fried Oreos.
They get like fluffy. I don't know. I like fried stuff and I like Oreos. They kind of get like a little, I don't know, it brings out a little bitterness to me. I don't know.
What did Johnny say was one of the most badass kicks in karate?
The spinning tornado kick or whatever you called it.
Flying tornado. And I can't wait till that gets broke out. They keep talking about it. It's going to be amazing. What kind of beer did Kreese buy?
The 333.
Nice. Old 33s. Well done, sir. What kind of beer did Terry think it was? Here's a tough one.
Something from Vietnam.
Yes. Well, good enough. Oh, what book was Terry reading when Kreese brought the beer?
Leviathan.
Nice. Look at you. Extra.
That's what I was going to ask you. That's why.
You asked me that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have shut up and let you ask early. I'd have nailed it. God, this guy's a genius. Oh, extra credit. Who wrote that? Who wrote it?
Rosie Andrews.
That is incorrect. Nice guess.
I don't know. Rosie Andrews did write a book named Leviathan because I was trying to think of what it was about, and I had just looked it up. That's why I had to look up at the screen.
Wow. Well, the one that he was reading was written by Thomas Hobbes. Who did Kreese say the beers reminded him of?
The guy that didn't wash himself.
Oh, their old buddy Scoville. Absolutely. Where was the good old boy that Kreese was remembering from? Where is Scoville from?
Alabama.
Oh, good guess, but absolutely incorrect. And last but not least, Terry called Kreese captain. What rank did Kreese refer to him as?
Oh, I didn't even hear that. I just heard captain.
Oh, bingo. If you know that answer, write it in the chat box, or if you're doing it, write it down below. Absolutely.
What is Leviathan about?
I have not read it. I have no idea.
That's going to be important, so I'm going to look it up.
The reality. I said it's going to be even better. I'm excited. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I could kind of go, like I said, I could kind of call this one a touch of a filler episode, but Andy absolutely loved it. But there's no way you can call episode 8 a filler episode. Episode 8 was amazing.
I feel like it was perfect doing these two together for me, right? Because
they
worked out. Yeah, like they tied together. And I don't think it's a filler episode when you immediately, like, there's follow through on the next episode.
Yeah, it was like it was almost meant to be for us to do this. Yeah, sorry we missed you last week, but it almost worked out better because, like you said, it's great to tie these two in together. And let's just get right into this next one because this is one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. Like, you already know. Cobra Kai Season 4, Episode 8, and this one's called Party Time. You know the DJ's going to love that one. And like I told Andy right when we got on, as soon as this episode started, 2 words slipped out of my mouth. Fuck yeah. Like when you saw those oversized slippers and a fuzzy robe, who did you think it was?
Oh, Stingray, man. Like,
really?
Yes. I was good. I've been waiting for him all season, and I know that he's like a director or something. He's like the actual guy is important to the show because I looked them up at one point who he was. And so he has some significant role in the show outside of on the screen. So I knew he was going to be back at some point. And as soon as it popped up, I was like, Stingray!
Dude, so dope. I thought it might have been Alicia, like they're going to tie her and bring her back, to have another girl fight in this thing. But yeah, I didn't. I was like, who is that? It's like, that's bigger than that. It was so amazing when they popped up. Like just the little details about it. Like he couldn't be bothered to wait for the coffee, so he pulls it early, like while it's still running and pouring everywhere, and then sips it and burns his lips because it's too hot. Like, oh, so happy to see the man, nay, the legend, back on screen.
Oh my! I'm gonna do my beard like that one day. I'm just gonna come in. I'm growing it out. That's what this is about.
That'd be amazing. Oh, dude, yeah, everything about it. I was loving it. And then his neighbor, like such a dick, but a total asshat. But he can't be a total asshat because he hasn't called the cops yet. But he's been annoyed yet still noisy enough to like notice, or nosy enough to notice the squirrel obstacle course in the back that Stingray built.
Dude, that is a great call to a YouTube channel. A guy, most people have probably seen his YouTube channel about the he's the guy that did the bomb, like the package thief bomb, the glitter bomb. A lot of people have seen that, but he has this other series where he's seeing how smart squirrels are. So he makes this crazy obstacle course to like see how smart they are. And squirrels are so freaking smart. It's amazing. Everybody should go watch that video. He actually has 2 of them.
No way.
I'll look up who it is.
That's awesome. I had no idea. I think I have heard of a squirrel thing, but I mean, that could be, there's probably lots of them out there. But yeah, that's amazing. Watch squirrels go through an obstacle course. And the fact that they're calling that out in this show, that is pretty sick. And I still thought Stingray was going to let his neighbor just have it, talking all that shit. But the legend relented and let him live another day.
Yeah, and you called his neighbor like an asshat? Dude, imagine how pissed off you would be if your neighbor's deadbeat brother was blasting rock music all night. I mean, clearly he wasn't doing too much because he is washing his car in the morning. So at least Stingray waited until like a Friday or Saturday night. But still, I would be pissed.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. And like I said, he can't be a total asshat because he's still never called the cops. Like he's still dealing with it, even though he just absolutely hates this man. But it's weird how much he knows about him. Like he's got him completely broken down. And so, I mean, he's paying him a lot of attention. How many friends do you have calling this man out on his lack of friends?
True.
Back at Cobra Kai, Terry seems to be working out some inner demons, thinking about what Kreese said, and he just wants to prove his loyalty. Like, are we witnessing the beginning of a nervous breakdown?
Yes.
Easy answer. That is definitely
that really bugged him.
Yeah, that took a toll. And then Cobra Kai reminding us that these are indeed still kids, as they're all excited about the upcoming prom. And Tori thinks she can't afford it, but Terry makes sure that nobody on his squad is left for wanting. So that's definitely going to be a thing.
Which, don't you think it's weird? Like, he didn't know that she was poor the whole time. And, like, he has all this money. He could have helped her the whole time. She didn't think about that. Like, that's... I don't know. I had been thinking about that. Like, why didn't he help her? That's ridiculous.
Maybe he just hasn't gone into the actual backgrounds, or nobody's brought up that, she's hurting like that, because, Kreese wants to be the one to help, and he doesn't want to, her life to just be easy with a handout. Like, she needs to earn it type thing. I don't know. But yeah, exactly. He's giving big wads of cash to Robbie's mom, but Tori's out there just slaving away, trying to, just get her mom to have food in the house. Like, yeah, that's pretty rough.
Mark Rober is the guy.
The squirrel man?
The squirrel guy. He has 2 squirrel obstacle course videos. The second one is amazing because it shows exactly how smart squirrels are. There's one super smart squirrel. It's amazing. I've watched it 10 times. I'm like, this squirrel is so amazingly smart. So Mark Rober.
That's awesome. And today's lesson is about balance, not achieving it, but throwing the opponent off theirs. It's like, oh, so Cobra Kai. And speaking of unbalanced, in walks the legend, reporting for duty, sensei, and no thanks are needed. And notice he's still sporting the red team sweatband, only one of the greatest accomplishments of his life.
That's ridiculous. But doesn't it make you think of Johnny, because he's still he has his sweatband and stuff? That's hilarious. Also, I disagreed that throwing people off balance is so Cobra Kai. What did we learn from the first Karate Kid? What happened when Daniel had to learn the crane, right?
Oh yeah, on the boat when he was twisting it. Yep, got to have balance. And that's about making balance. These guys are talking about throwing people off their balance,
which is what Mr. Miyagi did.
Yeah, I guess
he threw him off balance by shaking the boat.
Right. But only to try to make him have more balance so he wouldn't be able to shake him off next time. Whereas these guys are just all about breaking it, knocking him off. And speaking of legends in their own mind, I was loving the interaction between Louis and his sister. They're all battling over every little thing on the dinner table, thinking they knew better than the other. It was sounding like, as usual, he was in the wrong though. It was such a small scene, but I loved it.
The craziest thing is I have family like this. My family from New Jersey is just like this. It's the perfect represent. Someone there must be from New Jersey, because that is exactly how they interact with each other.
100%. Oh, there's no taking Stingray seriously. Are you kidding me? The man is a legend. Pay that man his respect. He is due. Oh, literally one of the best characters. When you said wait till the next episode and he came out, oh my God, spot on. Because of course, instant, one of my favorite characters. Him and Yaya. Why is Daniel's mom so hateful to Amanda? Talking about, I'm going to swap out your napkins for something more appropriate. What do you mean these are dinner napkins? Are you kidding me?
But that's a call back to the early season. Nothing's ever good enough for her son, which bugs me. It really does. I'm kind of with you where it's if you really believe that, why were you okay with picking him up in a car that you basically had to push to start and stuff? And
you need to remember where you came from and slow down there, Grandma.
Right.
Yeah, that's messed up. But it was cute seeing all the kids all dressed up for prom. And were you catching any feels knowing sometime soon you'll be dealing with that day yourself?
Nah, I had just went to a dance with my daughter, and she has a little boyfriend. But I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I'm more of a joker, so I know a lot of their friends, and her boyfriend's scared of me.
Oh yeah. Of course, all little boyfriends are scared of the day.
I'm not. I told him, you don't have to be scared of me, man. I realize I have giant muscles and you weigh 30 pounds. I'm not going to hurt you.
Unless.
Yeah, I didn't even say that. I just left it. He's oh.
Just let it hang there. Oh man, it was funny to see Louis trying to apologize to Johnny. Like he couldn't even look him in the eyes. He's like, I don't hang out with those biker guys anymore. So, dude, I was just giggling the whole time.
Right.
That was awesome. And then Yaya let it slip that Miguel's looking more and more like his dad each day. Like, why was that so bad to say?
Because he doesn't know his dad.
Because he's not in the picture, and it's just kind of a sore spot to be bringing up on such a happy day. I love how they asked Johnny to be in the Diaz picture, and he had to give like that '80s tough guy pose when he did it.
He was like, I saw that too. I was cracking up. I was like,
So Johnny, like, dude, this is supposed to be a nice little family picture, and you got to give him the sick '80s pose. Oh, that was fantastic. Oh, Celebrity Bikini says, I have nieces. The boyfriends all fear me as well. They should. Oh, trust me. 5 things you should know about my uncle. If you could see the bottom of this shirt. That's very fitting. Same thing. Watch out. My nieces. Oh, and then we get the first Johnnyism of the show. Like when Carmen says, looks like we're all alone tonight. What should we do? Johnny just instantly pipes up. Is that a trick question? I was loving it. And then she's acting all innocent. Like I was talking about dinner. It's like, shit, he was talking about eating too. What are you talking? Like, dude, I was dying. I was absolutely dying on that one. So Johnny. And then we get another blast from the past to Shannon's back, and she's all worried about Robbie. Like, are they still trying to redeem the worst mom in the world?
Yeah. I mean, you have to leave room for redemption. Like that's what we learned. That's why I don't like Daniel, is because he doesn't leave room for redemption. He always assumes that he's right because he was the good guy at one point in his life, and he hangs on that. Like, yeah, she was shit, but now she's like, well, I recognize, like, hey, this is one thing I'm aware I've grown, and now I am aware of these people that can suck you in and end up ruining your life because it's happened to her about 50 dozen times.
Absolutely, I like it. Old her would have taken that money and bounced to someplace tropical, but she seems legitimately worried about like this strange man giving all these extravagant gifts.
Right.
Yes, maybe she has actually turned a corner. And speaking of extravagant gifts, Yasmin walks into prom looking like Jessica Rabbit. Just Dimitri can't believe she flew all the way back for this just for him. Like, and neither can I. Like, I guess they found some extra money in the budget for a cameo.
And how amazing, like it's like why would they work or whatever? And you're like, there's no way, like that situation's unbelievable. But then she's like, I am aware of things he likes, and I am going to dress up like Jessica Rabbit. It's like she likely has no idea of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? But she's aware that he would like that, and it is like that kind of outfit.
Attention to detail. Absolutely amazing. And not to be forgotten, can we talk about that dope ass Pac-Man jacket he was wearing? Like,
Dude,
I need one of those in my life.
that was awesome.
Dude, that jacket was amazing. That was everything. And then Sam's a little sore, and Miguel asks if it's the heels, and she's like, nope, it's the flying tornado kick that Johnny had her practicing. And I cannot wait to see this thing in action because you know it's coming.
And the weirdest thing, like, I don't get Miguel and them. Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's a teenage thing. I don't know. But why would you say, I thought, no, whatever talk? That is something you clearly have in common. And, like, when you're practicing stuff, you don't really get to talk to each other about it. So why wouldn't you talk to somebody about something you both enjoy and you have in common?
Because it's just been the all-encompassing thing in their life, and they just want to have a night off of just them kicking it and talk about something, anything other than karate, I would imagine.
Yeah, but she does care about it. Like, he might not want to talk about it right now.
It's both their lives. Like, it's all-encompassing in both of their lives. So, I mean, I kind of get wanting to take just one night away from it. I get that one. Kind of step off. And then Robbie, what's that?
I don't get that. Like, if me and my wife both did the same thing and we both enjoyed it and it was like something we did all the time or whatever, and it's like, look, we're going to take a night out. This is something we have in common and we both care about at this point. So
I get it. Like you're saying, it's almost impossible not to talk about it. I think that's why they're fighting so hard too. But of course, it comes out, like you said, it's impossible not to talk about it. Like, this is our whole lives. Of course, something's going to enter about it. And speaking of entering, Robbie and Tori with a ho ho waya coming looking stunning. Like Tori with a waya is looking amazing. Like it had a very Grease vibe to it in the way they were dressed compared to like the more modern or the more classic way Danny and Sam and Miguel were dressed.
Right. This is like you said, like Grease. It's like a mix between Grease and Dirty Dancing, but it has the Grease on when like what's her name comes in with the dude from out of school. You know what I'm talking about?
Jaja.
Yeah, I don't know the guy's name, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Crater. They call him Crater Face, right?
Right, exactly. And that's the kind of he had like that kind of jacket that wasn't a tux, but it was all cool looking and red. And then that's basically, I think, what Robbie's jacket was tuned after, tailored after.
Right. I thought that was a great callback. And then their dance moves was like Dirty Dancing a lot.
Oh, where's the Coors beer? We're not drinking that, but definitely talking about it. You know they're a huge sponsor. What's up, Cohen? Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. Absolutely, Cobra Kai all day. And first off, it was amazing when Amanda was actually acting all uppity and stereotyping Vanessa, only for Louis to call her in and blow her mind. Like then the fact that once again these two think like it can't be them. Of course it can't be them. And then they say like, have at Anthony. But then they're shocked to find out like, no, that's not how this works. I want to talk to you two. They're like, us? Like we're near perfect. There's nothing wrong with us. Like just another wake-up call to like when they were at the parent assembly back at school and found out they weren't quite as adored as they thought.
Right. And it's like they should have kind of figured because she was aware of the situation going forward. And how great of her just not to say shit. But she didn't say nothing. She'd been thinking she has all this information the whole time. And she's like, just didn't say anything. She's like, I think I know what's going on, but it's not my place to say something. But since you're asking.
Absolutely. And then break it down all on them. I was like, and then just to see like how they're thinking, like calling her like a little junior Miss Marissa Tomei. Like I love Louis. Like I take offense to that, and here, watch me blow that up in your face. That was amazing.
It was good.
Absolutely. And then like there's just so much to unpack in this next little scene. Like first off, why is Johnny breaking into places? Like he knows that's against the law. And we see that Terry is probably recording this. So like what if he turns in the video and has Johnny arrested right before the All Valley tournament? Then, the balance would sure as shit be off then.
Right. He still has a Johnnyism as he comes in. He's like, you think changing the locks is going to work like that? You're just saying that as he comes in?
Oh, unbelievable. And then second off, why is he answering the phone? Like he just comes in and the phone rings and he answers it? Like that was just weird.
That's 80s, man. That's 80s kind of villain stuff. I don't know.
It's telling that maybe Johnny's trying like not hard enough. Like Terry made mention that Johnny, like, did you even know that Robbie was going to the prom? And Johnny was surprised by that. Like when his ex told him, like, he was like, wait, Robbie's going to the prom? She's like, that's not important. But actually it is. Like proms are like the most important parts of kids' life sometimes. Like right. Robbie's going to remember who made this memory possible, right?
Right. And yeah, he's going to remember. I'm with you on that, but I don't know. It's like a junior prom. So there's another one.
But that could be his first one. So that makes it even more like impactful or more of a big memory. Especially what happens later. It looks like it's definitely going to be a memory. And then third off, why would Johnny be so dumb as to show up anywhere alone to meet these two snakes?
Because he's younger. Why wouldn't he think he could kick up? Like I'm sure he knows he could beat up Kreese, but he wasn't.
Him and Kreese were going back and forth. Like, he didn't dominate Kreese. Like, Danny had to come in and almost save him that time. And that was just Kreese. Now it's Kreese and Terry? Like,
I think he knows he can beat him.
Oh, man. Tori's dad is going to be Mike Barnes from Karate Kid 3. That's his guess. Mike Barnes. I got to rewatch Karate Kid 3. It's been way too long. Like, I do not remember a lot of it. I remember the gist of it, but I don't remember the details. But the dancing was a bit much for me in this one. Like all the other kids were just going to back up and make room for these two kids that got kicked out, like of it, and just give them this very big, huge dance circle. Like Tori's barely back in the school, and the other one's still not allowed in. Like everybody else is just going to get out of their way. I didn't buy that.
Yeah, why not, dude? They both can kick your ass. So I'm
And then
getting out of the way. And like, I don't know. It's about how you present yourself. They came in like they own the place.
I guess. Johnny needs a different brand of beer to drink. Daniel drinks Blue Moon. That is a Coors product. He said, breaking it down, the details, just like in the show. And then we see Sam and Miguel can't stop looking at them, and we know this is going to grow into a problem by the end of the night. Like,
Yeah. This is maybe that there's an analogy there, right? Like two sides of the same coin. Because he drinks Coors Classic, right? Like, or Banquet, whatever they call it, but it's basically Coors Classic. So there is some sort of analogy there that they're not different, but Daniel just views himself as high class or whatever. I don't know.
No, I like it.
But no, like as you were saying, they keep looking at him, and what do they say the best revenge is? Living well. Ignoring it. Yep. Like best revenge is living well. Like that. That's what they were doing. It was amazing.
Oh, absolutely. They have some sweet callbacks to some alcohols in the show. Like, I'm sure that's a popular one that even Kreese brought in, like back in the day. So yeah, they do have some cool alcohol placements in this show. Full show. Daniel drinking Macallan, trying to be special, trying to be fancy. It was funny seeing Amanda on the hot seat being judged and not having it. She's like 3 questions in and like was given that notepad. Like she was like, "You are not going to be a judgmental Marissa Tomei with me, you little wannabe," snatching that notebook away from her. I was like, Amanda was not having it. This is the first time she kind of showed some chinks in the armor.
Right. And you got to be fair, like the whole time we've seen her, she has been right. So why wouldn't we assume that she's not the problem here?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't she assume that? Like Daniel's just all willy-nilly all the time. But whatever.
Absolutely. And then Terry shows Kreese he's buying back the old dojo and wants to expand even farther than that. And he keeps talking about once being 1 win away from it, and like all this is all a reality, just 1 win away, 1 tournament win away. Like as much as they keep saying it, like there's no way it's going to happen, right? I just hope they don't follow their own structure and like have it end in a tie like Johnny and Daniels did.
Right. Well, that might happen because after this episode, I'm starting to think that Tori is going to win, right? That whole line at the dance that set it up like that she would have something she knew she earned. She won. So I'm starting to think she's going to win.
Yeah, I have it written down a little bit later, but I was like, I think that the fact that she said that, there's no way that she wins. Like the fact that she brings that up, there's no way they give her the win. And the fact that they gave basically Robbie and Tori the win at the party basically means they won't win at the tournament. Like they got their win. This is their win. Now the other dojos are going to win the big one.
Robbie won. Like he threw his girlfriend in the water, technically.
You avoided staying wet.
So nobody wins, but Tori gets the redemption. She's like, yes, I could have been mad at him for pushing me in the water along with them, but it's not that big of a deal. And she has fun with it, right? I think that's like they're having redemption with her. Like she's not always crazy and angry. So there's this whole redemption thing. And I was saying, like, I don't know. I don't know. I think Hawk's kind of getting pushed to the side. So I don't. Maybe there's something coming. That he was my prediction for before, but now I'm going with Tori. I think
Tori for the big win. I like it.
But I'm too wishy-washy. But next week it's gonna be someone else. But right now I think they're building up Tori.
Oh, absolutely in this one. And how about little Mac Daddy Bert getting in on the action? Like a slow dance is coming, and that's where I make my move. I was like, it's so sweet.
This freaking episode. Okay, so I was telling you about the dance that my daughter had. After the dance, right? This kid comes up to running up to me like a little 11-year-old kid. He's like, "Do you have a pen?" And I was like, I don't even know this kid. What? I'm like, yeah, I think I do. And I'm like digging through the bag. I'm like, oh yeah, here's Ben. He's like, awesome. I'm getting this girl's number. And he's like this little tiny kid. And the girl he's getting his number's like this 13-year-old girl. I'm like, dude, what a man.
Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing. And he's like, thank you so much. I was like, this reminded me of that. I was like, that was so amazing. I'm like, I'm so happy for that kid.
That's awesome.
That's how I felt in this
Tori
moment.
wasn't a nut. Absolutely. She was not too bad in this one. And yeah, like I said, they're starting to make you feel more and more sorry for her, even though she was such an evil little thing. But Stingray's there. And first of all, how is this man showing his face at a school function after everything that happened? Like, how are they even letting him on property?
But that's why he was all sneaky, like, psst, psst. He's trying not to get seen.
Oh, Cohen predicts that his son will be fighting next season. Could be. Sounds like he's already wanting to get back towards the end of the dojo, so that could be a thing.
Dude, he's going to be taller than Dimitri next season.
Yeah, that kid is growing. He's going to keep growing, too. See the size of his head? That kid's
Dude, I was looking at his feet when he was running. I was like, dang, he's wearing like size 14s or something. Kid's going to be a monster. I don't know. But who is he going to fight for? That's the question.
Yeah, well,
he can't join Cobra. He can't join Cobra Kai, right? I think Eagle Fang's a bad fit for him because he's already got like too much attitude. So he has to work for his dad. But in the episode, it's kind of like a Cobra Kai kind of worked on him. Like,
and it depends. Is Cobra Kai going to split again, and maybe Terry Cobra Kai like that? Cobra Kai
maybe I get my dream, and they just join together in like Odd Couple, and then it's not Cobra Kai, or it's not Miyagi-Do, it's not whatever. It's the Odd Couple, and I am hyped for that, but so disappointing that we lost it so soon.
Oh, they then to have done like the recon, like for Stingray to have done the recon to know like the kids have lost their after party spot, so he's gonna like give them one to do. Like just everything about this is so creepily wrong.
Right, but he didn't know he wasn't in Cobra Kai anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Like did that much recon, but didn't realize Bert wasn't CK anymore. That's kind of nuts. But then invites a bunch of minors to come get hammered at his sister's home. Like, it was just all so wrong. But again, that's why he's a legend.
Right. Where's his sister at?
Yeah, she's going to have to come into play or something. But what if his sister's Allie with an eye?
That would be weird.
That would be amazing.
No, there's no way. That's too close. He's got to be like one removed from a character that he's got to be like related to a character we know from the movies, but not one that we know that just rejoined the scene, because she would be like, yeah, my brother's getting arrested and shit because of you, Johnny.
Yeah, that would be a problem. But it wasn't really Johnny at that point. I mean, it's more Kreese, but yeah, unbelievable. And he's getting arrested because he's a moron. And when Tori says all she wants, like you were saying, is to win the tournament so she can look at that trophy for the rest of her life and know that she was the best at something, like, I don't know. To me, that just guaranteed that she had no chance of winning.
Dude, there's no way that she has to win. She has to win.
And they're setting up Sam as kind of the bad guy, so they could flip that and make her win the girls one, and then have the have the guys champion do something different. So they could give her that win.
I don't think Sam's a bad guy. This is the only time I haven't thought she was a bad guy. Although, like, if I was her boyfriend, dude, I would have been pissed. I mean, he was doing the same thing when they're dancing. There ain't no way I would have put up with that. I'd been like, hey, you can go talk to him if you want. Like, I'm going to leave. I'd have left her. Like, if that was my wife staring at her ex-boyfriend, I would leave.
Like, oh, yeah, just leave her there with no ride, deal with the Daniel drop up. It doesn't matter because he's Johnny's, but yeah, unbelievable. And how's Johnny going to walk into a dark building, especially his old dojo, and not be ready? Like, Terry just instantly came in and kicked him in the face. Like, come on, Johnny, be better.
Right?
I was like, what are you doing? He should have known that. Especially when he's out there giving his own students lessons about they're going to fight dirty. So you're going to walk into a dark room and not expect a dirty kick to the face? Come on, man.
No, he's like Rocky, man. He's like, you just deal with the dirty. He's not teaching his kids to look out for crotch shots. He's saying, here's how you absorb crotch shots. That's his mentality. He's like, I'm gonna go in head first, like a southpaw. You just go in head first, but you just got to be able to deal with the punishment.
Yeah, he absorbed the punishment all right. Kick to the face, had his head ringing instantly. He had to be buzzed up to put on that bad of a performance, didn't he? Like he forgot Daniel's most important lesson of all: no be there.
Right.
Are they actually trying to make Kreese a halfway likable again? Like I almost felt a little pang when he told Terry to let him go. Like I was confused, just like Terry it was. Like what happened to No Mercy?
I think Terry was hurt because he confirmed. Like, he wasn't confused. It confirmed his situation or what he thought.
Absolutely. Gwen says Sam is a hypocrite like her dad, and that is what they are showing. Yeah, absolutely. Chip off the old block in a lot of ways.
No, I'm with. Yeah, that's what I don't like. Just stop being mean to her. But I get it. Like, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
My problem with Daniel is not that he doesn't like Johnny because something that happened. One, after Karate Kid 1, Johnny gave him respect. Like, after the fight, it wasn't like, hey, screw you. He's like, good job, whatever shit he said at the end. 2, this is like 30 years later, right? So you are still like, hey, he's still that jerk I met when I first moved here. No, even at the end of that one movie that you're talking about, he showed that he wasn't the bad guy. Like,
that's why, like Owen said, never liked that Daniel LaRusso character. He's the one harboring all this ill will. Like he's the bad guy. I mean,
right?
Yeah, Johnny got over it.
I think that is like I see why you could compare that, but the time span that we're talking about is different. I don't know. It's the same way we feel about Kenny. Like, yeah, he deserves to get back at LaRusso's son. Like that, we're with it,
right?
Like, my whole thing, yeah. When someone's trying to be nice to you, though, like I'm not down being mean to them. That's my whole thing.
Exactly. Somebody's extending an olive branch, take it. That's the way you crush problems, and it's going to be better in the end for both of you. Daniel talks Zen, but acts all like a Jersey punk. Absolutely. That hothead that came from Jersey is definitely still there. But back at Stingray's, he's living his best life. Like he feels he's surrounded by friends, and in a way he is, but it's just still also wrong. And then, okay, the neighbor had like a lot of great points, but still, did he have the right to bust into Stingray's house and kill the music like that and then start dissing the Ray in front of all his guests? Like, that wasn't right, or was it?
Dude, busting in the house, I can accept. Turning off the music, I can accept. Like, but the insulting him in front of everybody, what do you think was going to happen? The dude would. You knew that he was on probation for beating up a bunch of people. You are clearly the size of all these teenagers, so.
Like, to be fair, that's why he was in jail. The people he beat up were kids, but yeah.
Yeah, karate kids.
That's true. Yeah, you knew this nerd had it coming, and he finally got it. Like, absolutely. Like, dude, what are you doing coming in here talking all that smack? Who do you think you are, and where are your friends? I haven't seen you with anybody. Oh, but it was good to see Stingray hasn't lost any of his flexibility. Like, he was nice with that roundhouse. Oh, my man Stingray has been staying in shape. But it looks like Daniel still has a bit of the hothead in him. Like, he about lost it when he heard that chime and saw that Anthony was, like, disrespecting his punishment. Danny Boy got real and was done playing games.
Right.
And then
this is like a whole thing, like showing the parallels, like because they show these scenes pretty close to each other, where Johnny hits him with like the paint the fence. Like that's the move that I saw that I was like, oh shit, he just used Miyagi shit, like that, where he was like boom and blocked the one. I was like, oh, he did it, and then they pointed out after that,
flex off. Yep.
And I was like, oh, they pointed out. I thought they were just going to let it slide, and it would have been like a sneaky thing that people saw that were like, dude, he freaking did a Miyagi move. But, putting the iPad scene or whatever so close to that scene, it's like, they were showing that like both of them have their benefits or whatever.
And like you're about to say, like they even pointed it out, like just in case you missed it, like Terry had to say, like, oh, looks like old Danny Boy showed him some blocking moves, like how to block.
Right.
Yeah, they had to point all that out. Oh, Jake says Daniel did try to be nice to Johnny when he first ran into him again. But yeah, that was right after his daughter had just smashed his favorite car and like his number one prized possession. Like, how happy is he going to be?
No, he was like, yeah, he was smarmy still. It wasn't like he was outwardly nice.
There wasn't nothing nice about saying, "Oh no, I didn't kick him in the leg. I kicked him in his face." Ha ha ha! Having all
Yeah.
it is lucky Johnny didn't get it right there. So yeah, I don't know if I would say he was being nice to him. Oh, Terry Silver has the best dialogue. It's so classic and how clever and smug he is. Like Andy's saying, I think he might be playing a long game and he might have a whole nother thing coming up. He's got some tricks up his sleeve that are about to be unveiled, I think.
I want Cobra Kai. The show is called Cobra Kai, right? So I want Cobra Kai war between like yellow gi Cobra Kai's versus black gi Cobra Kai's. Oh, that would be amazing.
The Cobra Kai Civil War is coming. The Quiver is in trouble. I get that Sam's trying to be strong and not let like the PTSD get her down anymore. But like we're saying, like every time lately, it's her starting it with Tori. Like, I don't know. Does she have a right to be how she is? Like you're saying, I get it. But I mean, at some point, when do you have to let it go? Because it's ruining you and affecting you more than it is her at this point.
Here's the thing that I think maybe she wouldn't have been so bad if the dance wouldn't have all happened before that, right? Like, yeah, you don't like each other, but there's no like maybe you let it slide. Maybe you're not as jerky. Maybe she's not. Maybe I'm just making excuses for her. But we do see kind of with the Johnny and Miguel thing later, it was like a whole exacerbated, like the situation just became worse and worse. And Miguel, like, because of what happened there, everything before that made that much worse. Like, we'll talk about it, but so it's that same type of situation. If you just saw your boyfriend staring at her the whole time and now she's standing there you trying to grab a beer, yeah, you're gonna be a little annoyed.
Absolutely. And there's no way around it. And then Sam dropped a little nugget for all to hear that Robbie broke her heart and she obviously still has feelings for him. And like Jake was saying, just one of the most ruthless sayings in the whole episode. Like that had to hurt.
Right. Oh, I like Sam though. Whatever. But now she's starting. I hated her this whole time until this season.
And now she's finally starting to turn it around. And they do, boy. They're even trying to turn Kreese around. Like, oh, they're writing.
I love how they do that. They're like I'm telling you, it's like I said a couple episodes ago. It's like an anime. It's like they just take somebody and they're like, nobody is actually a villain. People are villains, and some people are worse than others, but like people have reasons for what they're doing.
Exactly. Like Celebrity Bikini says, they're pushing the world is gray.
Right.
Oh, he said, I don't like that Kreese is not smoking cigars.
I think there's something about that. Like he can't, I'm pretty sure.
Poor Miguel is going through it. Like Yaya reminded him that he's looking more and more like his father every day. He sees Sam staring at Robbie the whole dance. Then he hears that she's still broken heart over him while she's been seeing him. And now he's losing a fight and he didn't even want to be in this fight and he's losing it. And then he's being told like Johnny's love for him isn't real. It's only to screw with Robbie. Like it just can't get any worse for Miguel, can it?
It does. Right. Like you knew that was coming, right? As the thing before the end, I was like, I'm like, I hate you so much right now. As he's doing the speech, I knew that this was coming at the end. I was like, I hate you so much right now because of the episode before and Robbie saying that to him in that moment.
Brutal.
I'm like, I can't even take this. It's her. I'm a softie. I cannot take this.
It was pulling on all the feels at the same time. Like because like you said, you knew it was coming.
Especially for me because I'm adopted. Like that's way worse. That's so much worse. Like if my dad called me my brother's name, I'd be like, Oh my God. Like I would feel terrible. Like the whole setup. Oh man.
Oh yeah, absolutely brutal. And like I said, you know it's coming. And so yin and yang, like Robbie and Tori are having the time of their life, while Sam and Miguel are having the worst prom ever. Like just the contradictions and the way everything's compared. I love it.
Right. And just like living well, live your life. And the people, it'll bother them. And if it doesn't, it's perfect. You're still happy.
Yeah, either way,
Don't
you got
worry
the best
about
life.
other people.
Yep. Either way, you're getting the best end of it. And after such a rough night, Miguel needs someone to talk to. So he heads over to Johnny's to find him just smashed and passed out on the floor. So he gets him into bed and is having a real heart to heart with him. And Johnny lays it on thick, saying that he wants to be a better father to him, but sucks at it. And Miguel's like, "You're doing just fine." And even admits out loud that he loves him. But a wasted Johnny says the most hurtful and worst thing he could ever utter at this point in time. "I love you too, Robbie." Oh, just the absolute. What's it? Go ahead, man. Oh my god,
that was terrible. But I was like thinking about it. I think he's like falls asleep at the end, right? And then that's that kind of sleep thing. I think he really is talking to Miguel and knows it's Miguel
oh yeah,
going forward. All right, but then it's like that kind of half sleep thing where yes, he admits that like Miguel knows like he treats him like so well, like he messed up with his son and stuff. So it's like that kind of mixing of things right at the drunken knocked out sleep thing. But yeah, I knew that was coming and like I almost stopped it. Like I'm like I can't take this up. I can't. I
only
let
three
it go.
minutes left, and I'm not going to make it.
I was like the Ralphie that meme with where he's like and then someone pauses. Like you could actually see the moment his heart rips in half. Where he's
Oh,
yeah, like
it was so bitter, dude. Like
But
that.
before that, I would the now I got you all wet. He's like, yeah, I was already all wet. Me too. From P. Like that whole thing before it was great. And then
He's like, "That's disgusting." Gross, but didn't care because he's all just sitting there taking care of him. But the absolute last thing Miguel needed to hear right now was that oh my god, like talk about throwing you off your balance. Like, will he even like have the heart to fight in the All Valley after this point? Like, especially hearing what Robbie said is basically true in his mind, anyway.
right. Yeah, I mean, he ain't gonna do well.
Oh, dude,
We can we agree that he's not gonna win?
I don't know.
There's too many characters now. He can't win. There's too many other like
And he won the first one. He's the defending champion, so yeah.
Right, so that he can't win.
Wow.
That's
just gonna be rough. Miguel needs a girl he can stop her, not Sam. He said, "I have to pause shows sometimes too much." Yeah, he was feeling you too. I mean, that was like I said, this was one of my favorite ones ever. Like he was crushing it.
That comment.
Oh, I know. Oh, he's fantastic. We're not gonna put that one on screen. But
it's amazing.
Well, it looks like the people in the carnival ride are about to get a show because, like we're talking about, Rob and Tori are feeling some kind of way after the night's festivities. Now, sitting in this hot-ass sports car, they decide not to let the moment go to waste. And good on them. They deserve to make a happy memory.
Right. And so in this episode, can we confirm that based on the comment that I was just laughing at, the only people that apply to now are Robbie and Dimitri? Let that sink in. The only confirmations, right? Or as close to a confirmation as you're going to get.
Right.
Dimitri and Robbie now. Dimitri.
Of all people, I know. So you think this is them getting their win, like, and will lose at the All Valley? It sounds like you're going the other way. But, like, especially when Sam breaks out the tornado kick, I just don't know how Tori's going to get by that.
I don't know. Yeah, like, it does seem like they're setting that up. I don't think that Miguel can win one. So maybe it's Tori. I mean, maybe it's Sam. Like, it would make sense, the whole building of her character, like, oh, well, she's learning Miyagi and Cobra Kai, and like they're both gonna come into play or whatever. But like some people are like, hey, she's starting to come off as the bad guy, as the villain. So you can't let her win. So she can't win.
Or
And
that
they're
could be the
making
redemption arc.
Tori. Yeah, but Tori's on the redemption right now. You can't just build it in one episode now. They've been doing it with Tori.
That's true.
So,
I don't know why, but after watching this episode, I got the weirdest feeling that like basically Sam's gonna be in a spot where she could win. Like the tornado kick will take her out or whatever, and like she could take her down, but she's gonna see how much and know how much it means to Tori, and she's gonna let Tori win. Which that would kind of take the win away in itself, but I kind of
that would be amazing if that happened, because then they both lose. Oh my God, that's genius.
I can kind of see that happening.
Oh my God, that's genius. I love it.
We shall see. But back in the LaRusso household, it looks like Daniel getting angry actually had an effect on little Anthony. Like he seems to be straightening out a bit, taking out the garbage without being told, and kind of seems to be on a straight path.
That quiet.
Oh, they're so
That'll
awesome.
get you.
See, he needs that Johnny in his life. You're right. He needs that Johnny, like, to keep him straight, because the soft gloves aren't working.
Right.
And the one who's not so straight is Terry Silver. Like, he doesn't know what to do. No matter what he does, he cannot seem to make Kreese happy, and this seems to really be weighing on him.
See, I think he kind of knew. It's like he's disappointed. He's angry that he was right, I think is what happened. He's angry that he was right, and that Kreese cares about Johnny. Oh, that's his weakness.
Exactly. Caring about people exactly the same way that Robbie cared about little Kenny, and then Kenny was able to take him down. And so maybe that's how Terry's going to take down Kreese, is he knows he cares about Johnny too much. So that's when he's going to be able to strike and take him down. Or maybe that's when he takes over Cobra Kai and has everything going. He's the one that has the money to expand it. So
right.
Cobra Kai might be passing hands yet again. And he was one of the original co-founders. So, I mean, it's not all in all wrong.
Right. I just don't understand, like, how Cobra Kai even becomes theirs at all. It was Johnny's business just because the students left. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Still confused by this.
Well, because we see Johnny just was paying cash, and he probably never had a license in his name or anything. So, I mean, I doubt it would be too hard to take a business away from Johnny. Oh, man. Speaking of not happy, it killed me seeing a poor and desperate Stingray just get annihilated by Silver. Like, just one tortured soul taking out his rage on another. Like, Kreese is focused on his students, but Stingray was one of the most loyal back in the day when Kreese first came in. Like, Sensei Kreese, when it was him and Johnny, that's co-senseis, like, Stingray was the one that was always asking about him, and, like, he seemed to be on Kreese's side more than Johnny's back in the day. So, how do you think Kreese is going to feel about what Terry did to him?
I don't know. Like, maybe he thinks because Kreese embarrassed him, like, he'd be happy about it. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be mad. He's the one that kicked him out, so I don't think he'll be mad about it.
Oh, the new Asian girl with the long hair is cute, and she kicks ass. That's going to be Johnny's new champion. You absolutely know it. She's going to be bringing the love. So, I mean, Who knows? Maybe she comes in and she's the female champion, and neither Tori or Sam gets it.
Yeah, but they haven't built her up. They only built her in one episode. Like, maybe they do, and they're like, there's this new crazy awesome girl who just wins both of you, and both your things don't even matter, and that brings them together. I don't know, but they haven't built her up enough. That's my whole problem.
They could. Well, like I said, all in all, this was absolutely one of my favorite episodes of the series. There was so much, like, just the tiny little intricate details in this episode were amazing. Picking them all out, just so fun. And like I said, this was one of my all-time favorites. And you're right, the fact that we got to tie these two in just worked out flawlessly, because they were almost kind of like yin and yang, like made for each other.
Right.
Oh, absolutely epic. Well, I only have a couple trivia questions on this one. See if anybody remembers anything about the show. If you know the answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, write them in the comments down below. First and foremost, where is Stingray been staying? Where has Stingray been staying?
Sister's house.
Absolutely. Where was Stingray's neighbor, or what was Stingray's neighbor's name?
Something that started with an E. Wait, no, that was the other thing.
I got him on the name one. If you know that one, write it
Always.
in the chat box.
Alan. Okay. Whatever it is, he says it because he's like, oh, I get it because your name's that. Whatever.
Oh, are we doing 2 episodes next week? That's a good question. I was thinking about going back to 1, but we could just do 2 and knock this one out. What do you think?
We could.
We might just do 2 and make it happen. Absolutely. Oh, Stingray corrected his neighbor saying they're not Frisbees. They're what?
Something rings. I don't know.
So good. Oh, but you wouldn't know.
They're completely different discs. That's what he said.
What was Louis' sister's name?
Dude, just assume I do not know any names.
The neighbor thought it was Metallica blaring all night. Who did Stingray say it actually was?
That is still a name. No, I don't.
Okay, let's talk about nicknames. What nickname did the neighbor come up with for Raymond?
Stinkray.
Absolutely. Right on the Stinkray.
Because only reason I remember that is because he's calling him Stinkray, and then he's like that after he kicks him and stuff. He's like, that stings. Like, so he's like saying it's Stingray.
This is gonna sting. Oh, they need to make these shows 42 minutes instead of 30-ish. Absolutely, I'm all about the more Cobra Kai in my life. This is one of my favorite shows. The writing, everything about it. I absolutely love the show. All right, that's a name, but do you remember what Daniel's mom's name was?
Not at all.
What did Carmen say she could make for dinner?
Who's Carmen?
Danny.
Oh yeah, that's
Miguel's mom, Carmen Diaz.
I don't remember.
What did Hawk compare going to the prom without a date to?
Shit, I don't know. I must not have been paying attention.
I got him flustered now. Oh, what's up, Peter Griffin? Better late than never. I see you out there, buddy. Louis' sister is Daniel's real daughter. I did not know that. That's amazing. So it's great. She said that his parenting sucks. That is a deep dive. I love that. I didn't know that. Peter Griffin coming in with the details at the end of it. Love
Enchiladas.
That is incorrect. Oh, where was the old Cobra Kai dojo located?
On some corner, across from some cafe.
Absolutely. So you'll never remember. Last but not least, if you really were going deep dive in this, what was Stingray's sister's address? You know that one? Write it in the comment down below. That's a deep dive and a tough one. I already know, but the details are where the fun's at. So yeah, like I said, this was one of my favorite episodes. I can't wait to see the next one. So what, you want to just knock out the last 2 next Wednesday?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, the penultimate and the finale coming at you next Wednesday night. So I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next Wednesday, everybody. Be easy.